very much. Tyler, thank you so much for with me. This show is amazing and heartbreaking and devastating all at once. But I really want to talk about Kyle and his mindset. We've seen that after the prison riots that he's not in a good place. He seemed to be shattered by what he experienced, and it doesn't really go into the full scope of what may have happened to him. So for season 2, I do want to know, where is he in that headspace and also emotionally?
Oh, great question, Dana. Thank you so much for taking the time. Um, I'm so happy that you're picking up on that, because that's exactly where he's at. I mean, Kyle has just gone through such a traumatic event, being under the prison during the prison riots, being a detective, and during a prison riot, he's enemy number one, and having a baby on the way, and going through that mental break that he went through, and then picking up season 2 3 to 4 weeks later, where Kyle essentially hasn't done any work to unpack that trauma, and his only way he knows how to fix what he's going through, a job with the Michigan State Police, but his behavior that he's exhibiting is very questionable, because he hasn't actually what he went through the entire season 1, the death of his brother, knowing that he's a father, losing a partner. I mean, there's so many things that happened to Kyle, happened to all the characters, that it's just building and building and building and building tension that we are going to see explode this season.
Is it safe to say that he may not be the father and husband that he could be?
Oh, it's very possible. I mean, I think that's what he's fighting for this season. He knows how he wants to be, but he feels something inside him that he doesn't know how to explain. And for him, it closes him off. Kyle is looking for redemption, in a sense. He's very unpleased with himself, with how he acted, and or underacted, I should say, during the prison riot. He didn't step up. He caved, in a sense. And any normal person in that situation, it's safe to say that that's okay. But for him, he's really ashamed of himself. And so he really has that need for redemption, so he can welcome himself back in to being a human, to being allowed back into the human race.
Oh, it was a matter of survival. It's okay. What's also was really interesting is Milo is now escaped. How does that impact season 2 as well? Because he's coming for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's still that's right. In episode 1, we realize, well, at the end of season 1, we see that he escapes in episode 1, season 2. Mike realizes that Milo's out there, and it's a very, very dangerous and scary thing for Kingstown.
Can you say, in a way, was it kind of Miles' fault of everything that happened, especially with the prison? If you look at it, it was a culmination of mistakes being made and trying to be the in between for everyone. Do you just.
I'm sorry, Danny, you broke up there a little bit. I couldn't hear the question entirely.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a little break, but I think the basis of the question is, was it Mike's fault, the riot, in a sense? Quite possibly. He is trying his best. Could he have lended to the demise of the prison with his antics? Possibly. I that wasn't his intention, and it's like, can you stop a runaway train? I don't know. And to me, that seems like what's happening in the prison. The prison is, when you pick up in season 1 and you see the dynamic, what goes on the inside, on the outside, between the guards, between the inmates, it's very volatile. And Mike's trying to fix it all. It's hard to say. I think it's a good question. I think that's a kind of left up to the audience to figure out.
do know that now Kyle is working upstate. It kind of seems, without any spoilers, that it's the same kind of.
I can't
You
hear
don't
you.
know.
I'm
Oh,
so
can you hear
sorry.
me now?
I don't know what's happening, but
Your, your audio keeps going in and out.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
yeah, I can hear bits and pieces of it. Yeah. It's just cutting out kind of like in the meat of the questions.
I am so sorry about
No
that. Can you
problem.
hear me
I'm sorry.
now? Okay.
I can
Oh
hear
no.
you. Yeah.
Okay. What I was saying was that it seems that now that Kyle is up in Michigan, it kind of feels like it's the same kind of cycle of corruption, but differently. Without spoiling anything, we see that in season 2, episode 1, when he's dealing with the harbor police. Is there a way for Kyle to ever fully escape that? Is it for him to actually fully leave that job? Because that's what I originally thought was going to happen after the events of season 2.
I think Kyle's been told that he can fix, certain situations, that he can fix. Kyle believes in what he's doing. He believes in the greater good. He believes that what he does is for the greater good. When he's working as Kingstown, he believes that he's helping Kingstown. He's helping the citizens of Kingstown. When he starts working in the Michigan State Police, he believes that he can make a difference, that he can stop these, what he thinks is drugs coming across the border. He thinks he can do that. But then he realizes that underneath it all, it's not this big picture of, right and wrong. There's so much minutia about, he really starts to see it on a human level, and that people are just trying to survive. Like, the good guys are trying to survive, the bad guys are trying to survive. Like, and he's just getting caught up in this idea of right and wrong. And I think that really frustrates him, because he's been told that there's, right and wrong his entire life, but he's just keeps coming across, and it's just more of a gray area. And so I think he starts to question. He's like, well, I can't seem to do right. I'm only seeming to do wrong. Maybe I should operate in this gray area, and then, try to do my best there.
Does he, if that is the case, where he ends up operating in the gray area, is it a way, or would you say him kind of losing a piece of himself because he wants to work so much in that black and white line, but now in the gray, he has to change that perspective and change that tactic? He can lose himself.
I think that the situations that he finds himself kind of prompt him to start questioning, his entire mindset and his entire plight of thinking that he's doing right. I think he realizes that the situations he's in and the things that he's trying to help correct are a lot more. They're just a lot more layered than he thinks.
Also, what season 2 seems to operate within kind of a pecking order. There's a lack of leadership, especially from what happened with the riots. And so, because of this chaos that we now see in season 2, where do you think Kyle fits in that pecking order? Is he now trying to strive for the top, or is he okay at maybe more at the bottom?
I think Kyle's on his own trip more than a pecking order, and as it relates to finding that power struggle between that's happening in the prison and outside of the prison walls. And Mike is more at the forefront of dealing with that, and Kyle is really trying to, I guess, find himself in the midst of that. So really, I don't think that there's an answer to it. I don't think he's that much affected by the common thread of the power struggle. It's more of an internal, emotional, spiritual struggle that he's going through. It's a crisis of faith that Kyle's going through this season.
Can you tease whether or not there will be any moment of happiness for Kyle?
Happiness for Kyle. I mean, I'm looking at the season as a whole. Like, it's I don't know if the goal is happiness. I think that the goal is like contentness. right? I mean, happiness is a pretty big stretch in Kingstown. I think that Kyle is really just searching for safety, and he's just searching for soundness of mind this season.
Thank you so much for speaking with me. I
Thank
enjoy
you.
season 2 and season 1 so far.
All right. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Thank you.